Hey folks, welcome to the November 2026 Town Hall. We'll be getting started in a few minutes. And in the meantime, a couple of housekeeping things. If you all have any questions that come up, please feel free to post it in the Q&A section of this town hall. And we've got an amazing group of panelists here, so they'll try their best to keep up. Hopefully, we put them through their paces in typing and responding to those Q&As. If not, we'll also be answering them towards the latter half of this town hall. Apart from that, I am on the Eastern time zone, so it's relatively starting to get chilly here. And I think we've got a bunch of panelists from Houston and the West Coast as well, and a few from on the Eastern side as well. I don't know if anyone wants to jump in with this city where they're from. Toronto is mine.
Yep, I'm from Houston.
Ooh.
In the
Lansing.
Dallas area.
Lansing, Michigan.
Oh.
Sorry.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Ooh. I've heard really good things about Colorado Springs. I need to make my way down there.
It's a terrible place. You don't want to be here.
I was about to say that it's pretty.
I think he's trying to keep people out.
That means I definitely need to visit it.
All right, let's get rolling.
Sweet. So yeah, let's get started. We've got a good amount of people online. If your team members haven't joined in yet, please ping them by our own communications method to tell them to tune in. But welcome to the 2026 November Town Hall. We've got an exciting one lined up. And as usual, I think if the first thing we usually start off with is the President's Minute. So hopefully we can give Steve a second or two to chime in.
Okay, yeah, a second or two is all I'm going to need because I've got grandchildren in the background right now that are kind of actually doing their reading exercise. So, hey, just thank you all for joining. Really excited by the number of teams that we have that are going to be participating this year. I really would love for you all to pay attention to both deadlines and things like if you're an international team, visas and getting that stuff done early, as well as fundraising. So look forward to having a banner year, both from a number of participation and, from what we accomplish as a group. So, and Mohi, thank you. And I'm going to go on mute. They've actually were pretty quiet in the background. So we'll talk to you if a need comes up during the Q&A.
Sounds good. Thanks, Steve. I assume they're future Rocketeers and ESRA volunteers in the making.
Well, actually, yeah, I am staying at my daughter, who is an aerospace engineer here, and their children have already got their aerospace books out. Okay, so just
perfect. I guess we can jump forward to the next slide, Andy.
Yep.
So this is the quick agenda. We've already tackled the first one. So we can go on to NCC Minute. And that will be held by Jim.
Okay. What a wonderful picture.
I knew you'd love it.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say at this point. One of the things that you'll immediately have to be starting on is the progress report number 1, because I guess it's due on December 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a couple weeks from now, not a whole lot of time. The template for that is being posted right about now. And so you can look at that and start to fill that out. My suspicion is there will be some questions in that progress report that you will not be able to answer at this point based on the current status of the design. And so one thing that I would just encourage you to do is to If you don't know an answer, don't just leave it blank, but put in something that says, yeah, we don't know our stability, but we're planning to shoot for 2.5 calibers, or just something that sort of says, okay, we don't know the answer, but here's kind of where we're going to answer that question. And then as the progress reports go on, you'll be able to put more and more detail in there than you can now, but put something in there if you can on where you think you're going with it. One area to particularly focus on, and I think, you know, this year we've got like all sorts of questions on frequencies and so forth for IRE, and more so than anyone has seen in the past. And I think the objective of that is to go from the radio frequency wild, wild west to radio frequency control. And so there's more rules about what frequencies are available to do what. And the idea is to get more reliable GPS and more reliable transmissions and less interferences with rockets and also the infrastructure at the event. So there's been a lot of questions on that, and we're going to try to codify that as best we can to eliminate the uncertainty on that. I think that's the main thing that I just wanted to pass along on the progress report. There will be an update on the DTAG coming before terribly long. There's some things we know that we need to go back in and fix, and we need to clarify. And I think I want to try to get some of the frequency stuff resolved before we go and do that. But look for a sort of a tweak in the DTAG probably sometimes toward the end of the year would be my best guess.
Thank you, Jim. A couple of building up on what Jim just mentioned. A couple of things to keep in mind. Progress report 1, as Jim mentioned, is due on the December 5th at 5 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you all start working on that. A little while later, Jessica will chime in a little bit on how to complete that as well. So stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for document updates that'll be happening as well. Next slide, Andy.
All right, I guess I'll fill in for Stephanie, and Steve's a little got his hands full as well. But over the past 30 days or so, we did land a new sponsor. In fact, we have two. ANSYS, who has been a long-time sponsor of the IREC, has signed up as the bronze level again this year, and so we appreciate their support. And keep in mind the software that they provide for students for simulation and it's almost an industry standard in a lot of different arenas. So getting some experience with that would be very valuable. The other group is a new startup company that is on the process of moving to Texas, is Perseus Defense. Jim actually does have some experience with them, and they're coming in as a bronze level sponsor as well. They're very excited about potentially meeting all the students in June. So it'll be a rapidly growing company, and they're doing some really interesting stuff that'll let them talk about more in the future. So we have probably at least a half dozen or more that are in various different stages of contract negotiations and such. So we're getting a fairly good start in the sponsorship space. And keeping in mind, last year we really didn't get going with sponsors until after we identified the site we were going to be. So we're definitely making some good progress this year. Last little piece from the sponsorship vendor area is that I know probably a few of you at a minimum potentially attend the AIAA SciTech convention that's coming up in January. It's a huge convention of the AIAA, and they hold it every year. This year it is in Orlando. Again, it's been there many times. And last time I went to it was in Las Vegas, I believe. So a great convention. And if you're going to be there, if you could just maybe leave a comment and tell us who you are and school you're with, and definitely come and find our booth. We will have a booth. I don't know exactly where it's going to be on the floor. It's a big convention hall. So come look for us. We'd appreciate it. Oops. And then the next one. Here we go. Mopi.
Awesome, Andy. Thank you so much. Yeah, please, like Andy mentioned, come on by, take photos, tag us when you see us, or in your posts with the sponsors, tools and softwares that work with us as well. A couple of general updates for Discord. So far, we've been ramping up quite a bit. We are now at 1,500 total users with about 890 plus IREC competitors so far. I think based on the last town hall to this town hall, we've gotten a good amount of things hashed out and things are running a lot more smoother. So thank you for helping us get there. I know there's still a good amount of ways to go forward too. So keep those suggestions coming. If you have any new ideas, not just for Discord, but also in general, toss them in the suggestion channel and we'll try to get to it as soon as we can. And also thank you for helping us make the shift from HeroX to IREC Discord and also for your submissions. I think the team applications went really smoothly and we've learned a lot, and we're also implementing a good amount of changes to make things even better for progress report 1 and so on. Next slide, Andy. So again, there are a lot of different members on Discord, from competitors to ESRA officials, partners, Flight of Records, advisors. So if you all think there is someone that you know who should be onboarded, please share with them the link, and then they can introduce themselves and we can assign a tag and get them onboarded as well within Discord. Last thing, again, as a general note, we've said this before, there are a lot of members. So when you're getting instructions or things, just keep in mind who you're getting it from. Make sure it's someone from the ESRA folks who are chiming in and you're adhering to those instructions rather than from the general public itself. So keep an eye on that. So for example, for DTAG, Jim's one of the foremost persons who will be like answering your questions. If it's someone else saying that, yes, it's doable, go do it, just verify that and vet that before you go ahead and do it. Next slide, Andy.
Yep. All right, we'll start over Jessica. Do we lose Jessica? No, there she is.
There we go. So the last town hall, I talked about Rocketeer participation, and so far I've had 2 universities reach out. And the biggest thing is that we want to hear from and celebrate you. We want to be able to post you on social media. We want your names and what you're attempting to do with the 2026 IREC. We want to like show our sponsors, prospective sponsors, our volunteers. We want to help you make connections. So please email me at media@ezrarocket.org, or you can also email webmaster@ezrarocket.org as you have done in the past. Please include a picture with your response. Again, these are going up on our social media platforms primarily, and we of course want to show images of you, your rocket, and all the fun stuff. Tell us about you and your team, why you're excited to be attending the 2026 IREC, what you hope to accomplish at the IREC. Are you doing something way different this year than you did last year? Did most of your team graduate? So you're a primarily new team and you're going for it all. And then if you also attended the 2025 IREC or another IREC, I'd love to hear what your favorite memory of that particular was, so that we could use that on the website. And then, is there a particular sponsor or vendor of interest to you? By the students letting us know what sponsors or vendors interest you, then we can make a point to reach out to those sponsors and vendors to hopefully help bring them to you. So please keep that in mind. Next slide, please. So one of our first Rocketeers that are participating was Lehigh University Rocketry Association, and they are thrilled to attend the 2026 IREC as it represents a milestone in their club's growth and their first opportunity to compete on an international stage. So thank you, Laura, for your Rocketeer participation. You were actually posted on our social media at about 7:20 this evening on Eastern time, I should say. So congratulations to you guys, and we look forward to working with you this year. We also have the University of South Florida, or the SOAR team. What's interesting about this SOAR team particularly is that they attempted to participate in the 2020 IREC, but of course that did not go as planned. So this will actually be their very first IREC. However, they do come with a lot of experience with the NASA student launch program. So we are very excited to also see the University of South Florida, and please keep your eye out on our social media because we will be posting about you guys as well. In other news, in reference to the Progress Report 1 and how it is working, is that if you go to the 2026 IREC link on our website, you can actually scroll down to where it says student resources, and you can actually access a PDF of the progress report and a Word document of the progress report. I know one of the things that we got with applications was that our students wanted to be an editable copy. So we did create that for you this with moving forward with Progress Report 1. Now, in order to submit Progress Report 1, you do have to click the Pay Your Entry Fee button. That takes you into a whole nother portion of our website that is designed just for accepted teams who have paid their entry fees. There are lots of extra documentation in there, but in moving forward, once you've paid your entry fee, that is where all the links will show up moving forward. So please keep that in mind. That is also where your Progress Report 1, you will click the submit link. It is also going to be a Microsoft form just as before, and the protocol is identical as of the applications. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email webmaster at ESRA Rocket, or Q manager at ESRA Rocket, or executive director at ESRA Rocket, and we will be more than happy to help you. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
All right, it is my turn, and before I jump into it, I apologize, I totally forgot. Just a reminder for everyone that is we have, goodness, look at that. We're this is the highest attendance we've ever had at a town hall. We're well over 100, which is fabulous. Any questions that you do have, there is a little applet, I guess, built into Zoom. There's a question or Q&A section. If you could please, if you've got a question, you're curious about something, or something I said or one of the other leaders said that has got you a little confused, please type in your question. There are no dumb questions at this point. We will either answer it publicly here, or if it's a simple, straightforward answer, then we will simply type in the answer for you directly. But one way or the other, we will get you the answer. And if we don't get you the answer tonight, then we will chase it down and we'll make sure we get you the information to your benefit there. So I will highlight a couple of different things. I receive dozens of emails every day from the student teams through the general.info email account. And I'm highlighting, I guess, some of the key ones that are driving in there right now. So visa letters. We've gotten about a dozen requests so far. For the most part, I think almost all of those should be fulfilled. I know I'll wake up tomorrow morning and there'll be 5 or 6 more, and that's fine. I'd much appreciate and would much rather do these early on, knowing that your team is actively working to get scheduled for your interviews and the the calendar. If you wait too long, some of these lead times can be 6 months. And unfortunately, every single year we will get several teams that have to drop out due to they could not get their visa visitation or interview scheduled within the time frame. So please do not hesitate. Do not wait. If you're an international team and you require a visa, I would begin immediately. I would get that submitted within the next few days. Just get on the schedule, and hopefully they respond back with something, with an interview that will allow you to still attend. Because again, we're running out of time quickly as December is already catching up with us, and some of these lead times are over 6 months. At this point, next topic is IREC fees, and I'm going to hand it over to Mandy, our treasurer.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Mandy. You probably haven't met me before till now because fees haven't been really relevant till now. So, fees for this year. Right now, you are at your application fee. That is going to be $400. This is non-refundable, and the deadline is Saturday, December 6th, so a little over 2 weeks. There is no late fee for this one. If you have not submitted your application fee by the end of the day on December 6th, you will not be attending IREC. And I'm very sorry for that, but we need those in by December 6th. Our second fee, which you'll get beginning a little bit later on, is going to be your Rocket Project fee. That's going to be $700. And then the Rocketeer fee, which is $100 per Rocketeer. Again, those will be refundable till April 10th, and those ones do have late fees. So if for some reason you cannot get it in by April 10th, which is that price due date, you can pay those after April 10th, but there is going to be an additional charge for those because it is a late process. Now, one thing that we did just update about 7-ish hours ago on the website, when you are going to pay your fee for the application, there will be a box telling you that you need to insert your team number. This lets me, who is tracking all of these people paying, confirm that yes, your team has paid. We're going to be seeing you at ESRA. If for some reason you have paid and you did not already see the team box, which I know a decent amount of people have already done, that's okay. No need to panic. If you can, either email me at treasurer@ESRARocket.org or message me up on Discord. I am on Discord. I lurk there pretty frequently. Either way, message me with the email for whoever paid, the date, and your team number, and I'll make sure that your team is squared away so you have no questions at all about that. If you do have any questions about the processor fees, again, feel free to email me or send me a Discord message. If you can't for some reason get credit card, we also accept wire transfers. We do Zelle. We have a couple of different options. We'll work with you to make sure your payment goes through. That's it for me.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Mandy. All right, let's continue on. Again, the application fees, all of your fees will be paid on ESRARocket.org. There has been a few individual groups that have been coming forward asking for ESRA to engage with their organization for basically asking us to become, I guess, professional partner organizations with theirs so that we can do invoicing and all of that. ESRA used to do that, and we've been abused so badly by it that unfortunately at this point we no longer support invoicing. So we are looking at student teams to pay via credit card is the probably easiest and most simple process to go through. If you're not able to do that, we do have the ability to do, I think, several of the online payment systems such as Venmo and again, well, you can speak with the treasurer folks for the details on that one. But if you could preferably pay via the website, via credit card, that would be far easiest. If you do have challenges and you can only pay via invoice, send a message to general.info, and we'll coordinate and see what other options we can do. All right. Thank you again, Mandy.
Thank you.
Right.
Sorry, before
Yes.
we go on, there are 2 quick questions in the Q&A. I can answer them now, or if other people want to answer them later, we can do that because I know.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
For Flyer of Records, there are no fees that you will need to pay. The fees are for the teams and the team members, not the FOR. So you should be good on that. There are no fees with that. If you do need a receipt, please message me personally. We don't usually have them, but I can easily get you a receipt. It might take me a business day or two, but I can get you a receipt if you need one.
Her email, by the way, is treasurer@esrarocket.org. So pretty easy.
In reference to the
And,
receipts, you should automatically get one when you submit your credit card information
Very
to your
nice.
email.
And just 2 seconds for our fours. We love you guys.
Yes.
We're so happy to have you. No, you're not paying a dime. So thank you.
Absolutely, guys. Now, with that caveat, there are a few students who are also flyers of record. So again, that's an exception here. If you're a student participant and you're a flyer of record, you still have to pay your Rocketeer fee because you're going to get the swag bag and the shirts and all the other stuff that goes along with that. If you're a flyer of record for an additional team, you do not have to pay a Rocketeer fee or anything for that, just for the team that you're participating on. So to avoid any confusion on that. If not, maybe I created some new confusion. I'm pretty good at that from what I'm told. But let's look at some of the details. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is some of the stats and details. So total Rocketeers from the application side, 7,900. Received 192 applications, received roughly 185. And the breakdown of 40% international teams, which is about normal. Can range between 40 and 50 typically. We have 25% female. And then we have the breakdown of undergraduates, graduate degrees, and PhD level, doctorate levels. So, and 57 U.S. military veterans. So that's pretty cool too. All right, let's move to the next slide. Reminder: we do have a 2026 IREC mission patch. That deadline is sneaking up on us. So if you've got friends, if you've got yourself, whoever that has some amazing design skills, I still think the patch from last year, which is this one right there below the 2026, is still one of my favorite patches out there. And if you can see the little hidden there, embedded little armadillos, that was my idea. But nonetheless, neat little things like that. That's what we're looking for. Here are some of the requirements for it, and this is all on the website as well. And the submission dates and submission process is all on the website as well. So appreciate it. We've gotten quite a few questions about where the color palette is. And the color palette, again, is on the website. If you scroll down through technical resources, I think you can scroll down and find it. I think you can also search for color and probably find it as well. So nonetheless, the color palette is on the website and available for you for this. So, I guess the attendance for the last couple of town halls haven't been phenomenal. So to see the numbers that we have today is very exciting, but we'd still like it to improve. I mean, with the number of students, with 26 to 2,700 active students on the teams right now, our town hall attendance should be 500 or more. I would expect. So at a minimum, have your team leaders attending. I know a lot of you folks can't do it all the time, and so you can watch the videos that will be available on YouTube after this. But if you have questions, you can't really interact with a YouTube video. So we ask that everyone attend this. We did change it from the fourth Wednesday to the third Thursday, and we'll continue to do the third Thursday throughout the rest of the year and next year. So this is also another reminder. Last month, we talked about a survey that was going to be going out. The survey is almost complete, and we're going to be posting that in Discord. And this is about L1, L2, and L3 certification opportunities. And really, we're just trying to find out if we laid all these details out in the survey, what kind of interest do we have, particularly from the international community? We're going to have L1 kits available with rocket motor, everything you need, the parachutes. Basically, top to bottom, you'll be able to launch the rocket, build it, launch it, and then take it home with you. So the idea in the process is we'll build the rocket on Saturday in the Midland area. We haven't finalized where that's going to be, but that is June 13th, or excuse me, that's not 13th, that's the 12th. I'm still getting my math wrong. Now that's right. I'm sorry, that is the 13th. So anyways, nonetheless, it's the Saturday before the IREC officially begins. And we'll announce all that. You'll have to pre-register for it. But if you purchase one of the kits, you'll have to pre-purchase the kit as well. It'll be available, and you'll have experts there assisting you in building it. and we'll let that rocket dry overnight. The epoxy needs to harden, and then the rocket will be there on Sunday at the launch site, and hopefully we'll have a whole bunch of new international students and other students heading home with new certifications. So for level 2 attempts, there is going to be opportunities to take the L2 exam on site on Sunday. So you would need to bring your own level 2 rocket. If you'd like to coordinate a motor purchase with Motorman, you certainly can do that, and they will bring it. And then bring whatever you need to prepare for it, and then you'll have the ability to launch it for your level 2 certification. Same thing with level 3s. With the level 3, so we have a waiver of 30,000 feet. And so, again, you'll bring your own rocket. We are not selling kits for level 2 and level 3. There is a possibility that the level 1 kit might be able to do level 2, but we haven't finalized any of those details yet. But nonetheless, an opportunity. If you get in level 1 this year and you want to come back next year and do your level 2, and then the year after that, level 3, I think that makes perfect sense. That'd be great, especially for the teams that don't have the opportunity to do any of this in their own country. So, anyways, that'll be coming soon. Hopefully, maybe before Thanksgiving. I hope, and we'll keep it open for probably a week or so. And if you see the survey, make sure you pass it out to the other members of your team so that they can see it. Notify them, let them know, hey, if you want to do this, you need to let us know, because if we only get a few individuals interested, then we probably aren't going to do it. If it get overwhelming, then we'll put a lot of energy into it. So just want to hear back from you. And I think that's it from my side. Before we open it up for questions, let me do a quick survey here. I'm going to basically go around the horn and just see if any of the other team leads have any updates or edits that they want to add in. So we'll start with our hybrid lead, Paul Holmes. Sir, do you have anything you want to provide before we jump into questions?
No, not really. We have 14 hybrid teams and 1 liquid team this year, so it's going to be an exciting launch in the hybrid area. So that's about it.
Yep, you're going to need some more help. We're gonna get as many folks over there to help you as we can. Mr. Ben Russell, anything for you, sir, our beloved secretary?
Not much to talk about other than the fact that the progress report ones need to be completed and done, and we'll start reviewing.
All right. Well, thank you again, Ben, for all your work on getting the applications. Again, we had I think a world record efficiency at doing the final reviews. That is usually a arduous, painful 6+ hour nightmare, and this was one of the best years we've had. So good job on that. Thank you, sir. All right, Miss Hannah Cruz, who is working with our rocketry vendors. Any updates from you?
I just wanted to let all the students know that I am in the Discord, and I recently edited my in-server profile to mark that I'm the person responsible for the ESRA rocketry vendor stuff. So if anyone has any feedback regarding the rocketry vendors or any vendors they would like us to reach out to try and get involved, feel free to shoot me a message on the Discord server. I'll be monitoring that pretty regularly. Just message me and I'll give you an answer. That's all.
Excellent. And Miss Hannah is also working very closely with Mohi on the survey, and I appreciate their support on that one quite a bit. All right. I'll swing over to Adam Nippa, who is managing our 2-stage teams. Mr. Nippa.
Hey, everybody. No major updates from the 2-stage side of things. Just know that we're working to make the best experience possible and keep improving things out at the 2-stage pads. If you are a 2-stage team and you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the Discord chat. There is a 2-stage specific chat. And if you would like to privately message me, you can either privately message me on Discord or ask for the 2-stage email if that is not available to you. So yeah, that's all that I have from my side, and I look forward to getting those the first progress reports.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, real quick on Mr. Harry Spears, who doesn't have his glasses on. I don't think I've ever seen him without glasses. You're on mute, sir. I've never done that.
Never.
Not today.
Yeah, no more glasses, hopefully.
Wow.
I had the last eye done on for cataracts 2 weeks ago, and if all goes well, I'm done with glasses.
Wow.
But
That'll take a while to get used to. I've known you forever.
That's awesome, Harry.
Yeah, I've worn glasses for forever. I'm still getting used to it. And of course, on my end, there really isn't ever much of anything, just same as usual.
Okay.
Should be out there with a few other people doing the final reviews. I think the same people are going to help me again this year.
Which
Excellent.
now you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be doing all the work since I won't be able to see anything.
All right. Thank you, sir. Miss Elaine Russell, flyer record updates.
No no real updates. However, make sure that the level, certification level for your flyer of record matches the level of the motor that you're planning on using. You do need to have a level 3 flyer of record if you're flying an M or above. And there's not that many teams that are flying less than an M.
Awesome. At this point, we're highlighting the flyer records in Discord. If you are a flyer record and you're not on Discord, you potentially could be missing out on a lot of important updates. We do have your email addresses. There is a distribution list that we've created for the flyer records. And as soon as I figure out how to get to it, then I can show Elaine how to get to it. Maybe Jessica can give both of us a training session, and then we can start the Discord from that standpoint. So one of the pieces of feedback has been flyer records just sort of get left out to hang for the last couple of years, and Elaine has taken on this role to help us in that space. So thank you much. All right, rolling down, or a couple more. Chad Davis with support services.
Hey, yeah, nothing really at this point to report on, any updates or anything like that. Just looking forward to getting the ball rolling and hitting the ground running as we close out 2025, enter 2026. I mean, I know this first half of the year is gonna fly by, so really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Chad, are you already on Discord?
Yes, I am. I'm on Discord.
Awesome. Can you, I guess, instant or message me after this? I wanted to chat with you real quick about a potential new member of your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. And let's see. I think this will be the last one with Miss Anita Jimenez.
Sandy, not many huge updates from competition operations. Can't stress teams enough to read the rules and requirements with the DTAG IFMS. Please ensure you're reading those from the website. There's lots of questions that are answered from them, so please remember to do that. A big reminder for 2026, any progress reports that are late or the technical report, teams are withdrawn, so get those in early and on time. Can't stress that enough. Probably will email Andy and their answer will be no. So that's going to be a hard line this year.
Submit it 3 days before. So if you have any technical problems, you can't rely on technical perfection if you're going to turn it in 10 minutes before the deadline. So turn it in 3 days before the deadline. That way, if you have any technical problems on the website or through your submission or whatever the case might be, you still have time to fix it. And if you tell me that, we tried to submit it and we checked the date and time on it and it shows, 12 seconds after the deadline, and, sorry, it is what it is. All the other large competitions, especially in the educational community, they don't mess around with deadlines. You either make that deadline or you're out. So again, we're going to get a lot more stringent on this, and it's painful, but in the real world, you miss a deadline, you probably get fired. So you want to be very careful about that, and we're definitely enforcing that very strictly ourselves. All right.
And
Mohi? Oh, sorry, Anita, go ahead.
no, you're good. I'm gonna kind of also lean on students. Please ensure you're talking to your flyer records. You may have put them on your application, but also talk to them so they're not surprised. I've already heard some issues with this, so please do. Sorry, Elaine. I wanted to ensure that we were, making that point across.
Absolutely. For the video flight readiness reviews, your flyer of record is expected to be there. And if this is the first time he's seen or heard about your rocket, you're probably going to have some problems. So very, obviously engage your flyer of record. They're the person signing off on your rocket. And if you're not including them on design changes, and just expecting them to show up and sign off whatever you bring, maybe not. Maybe they'll disagree and say that they're not going to sign off. And we had a couple of teams lose their flyer of record because of failure to communicate. So very important. Thank you for that one, Anita. Jessica, there was one other thing that popped in my head, and this is important for the teams as well. And this will not happen again, I promise. It's only the early stages. We had duplicated it 2, maybe 3 teams because they had submitted multiple applications, and we didn't catch that. And so what we did was, instead of just deleting that particular row number, is we deleted the second team's application and then renumbered. So I'm not sure if we updated, or if I mentioned to the webmaster, I know, because that listing of teams and team numbers are going a lot of different places right now. But if you think you are, and then mostly this is in the COT space, if I remember correctly, but go ahead and double check the website to see your potentially changed team number, just for reference sake. So I think that was it. Now, Mohi, I'll give it back over to you and let you roll through any questions and close it out.
Thanks, Andy. A couple of questions we already answered in the chat, but we'll just go over them again. In the meantime, if y'all have any questions come up, please drop them in the chat so we can get to it before we close it off for the day. One of them was if there are any fees for the flyer of records. We've already mentioned that there are no fees for them. Another one that we got was if there'll be any receipts provided for team application fees and other things. Yes, they will be. It should be auto-generated. But just in case, if you need one, also email the treasurer. And that email address is treasurer@esrarocket.org. Another one, which is an interesting one that we got, was, are the fees waived for student team members who are also FORs? In this case, no. You still have to pay the Rocketeer fee for that, for yourself, because you're competing as well. Another one that we've got, which we haven't answered yet, is there any cost for L1 certification flights, but if they're bringing their own rocket to fly? I think I'll port that over to Andy.
And if this is Harry Spears, if he's is he still? If you remember the Triple E Houston website where we had these special rules for the cost of certification, where they were slipping the prefect a $10 bill and then going over to your motor vendor shop and asking to see the good stuff behind the curtain. Yeah, no, there are no fees whatsoever. If you bring your own rocket, you are in great shape. If you do purchase one of the kits from Wildman, there's no customization. It's here's the kit, here's what you're going to get. It's everything that you need to fly. There's no modifications. You can't choose a different motor. You can't do anything like that. It is a level 1 kit that you will build and you will launch, and it will be identical to all the other level 1 kits that are there. So, if you want to put stickers on it, if you want to do that kind of stuff, yeah, sure, enjoy yourself, have a good time, but you won't have any options to customize it outside of that. And I think that answers that question. But no fees, no extra fees or any fees for those. You've got to be a AAA member, obviously. But if you bring your own rocket and you have your own motor, you can purchase motors from Motorman, but you better coordinate it beforehand. But if you're buying the kit, it's all provided for you with that one fee.
You probably mean Wildman, don't you?
So yeah, there you go. You've got the answer. But at the end of the day, it'll be a fun event. So when the form that Hannah and I are finalizing comes out, please make sure to respond to it and get all your other team members to also check it out and respond to it. Then that way we've got enough interest drummed up that we can go ahead and do it before IREC actually kicks in. Another interesting one that we've got is, do advisors need to pay Rocketeer fees?
Oh, absolutely not. No,
Yeah,
no, absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Right. They similar to Flyers of Record and mentors, they do not have to pay any fees whatsoever for the IREC.
Perfect.
And again, if a student happens to be an advisor for a different team, they still have to pay their student fee for the team that they're on.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever seen an example of that
competitor.
one.
Yeah, if they're a competitor, they need to pay back to you.
We've got one, I guess this will be more towards Jim. This question asks, can we use the 5.8 gigahertz for the live rocket video challenge? If basically they're asking this question because they noticed some discussion between the 2.4 and 5.8 being reserved for hybrid GSC. So they weren't sure which one prevents, if it prevents them from using 5.8 for the video challenge.
Yeah, I would be, well, let me thank Marco for the opportunity to answer a radio question live. I really appreciate that.
Actually, I'll need to take the heat. Marco asked this on Discord, and then I was like, you know what? Bring this in to the town hall.
Jim, you didn't hear me laugh when you said that because I was on mute, but thank you, Marco.
Yeah, I think we've heard of the interest in teams to use the 5.8 for the live video. I don't know. I don't have a complete answer to that question at this point. I think what we want to do is to be able to try to figure out how to do some allocations within 5.8 to accommodate everything that is on that frequency, because we have live stream and we have other site communications, we have the hybrid ground support stuff, and then the live stream. And it's going to be kind of crazy to try to put that all together. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to figure this out, partly because the people that need to do that are experiencing life at the moment, and it's just going to take them a little bit of time to sort this all out. One of the things that has that I've observed, I think, in looking at some of the discussion on this, is I have a feeling that some of the student teams know more about this than do the ESRA people that are going to be deciding it. And so I think it will help us to figure out how to allocate that frequency. If you provide us some feedback in the first progress report on what it is that you're doing and what considerations there are. Just as an example, there was a statement made on Discord about how some of the more common COTS equipment that's available for that has a limited number of frequencies in 5.8. Well, it would help us to know that and to know what those frequencies are, so that when we do the allocation, we can come up with the best way of accommodating everyone. So I'll just say at this point, take the opportunity in progress report 1 to put in some of that information there to help us kind of try to figure out how to do this allocation. I don't know how that's going to turn out. There are competing interests on 5.8, but all I can say at this point in time is that we're interested in trying to figure out how to accommodate everyone there as best we can, and we'll try to do that. I have on the topic of Discord, I also just wanted to pass along to folks that there's a lot of questions being asked on Discord related to the DTAG and frequencies and GPS and all this other stuff. And I'm going to try to answer those questions as best I can as we go through here. I would encourage teams to read through those discussions because that's where some of the interpretations are being made on this. And I think it's worth the time to go ahead and do that because I'm sort of convinced that answering a lot of those questions now and upfront, as opposed to trying to sort through those on the progress report reviews, is going to mean that there's a whole lot less stuff in the progress report reviews that need a mid-course correction or one way or another. And so that's going to help the progress reports be a lot more compliant with the rules and requirements and the DTAG and so forth. So feel free to ask those questions now and go back and look at them as you do your progress reports. And I think we'll have better compliance in the progress reports. And I think that'll help us all in the long run. There's another question about wiring in here, and I'm not going to be able to look at the links live here. So maybe that's something that we can do offline as far as looking at what the wiring guidelines are going to allow or not allow. So maybe Mogi, you can tell me how to answer this question offline, and we'll try to do that.
Yeah, I'll forward you the question over Discord, and then we can put that within the DTAG chat whenever you get the chance, Jim.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim. This one is more pertinent to, I guess, Andy, who's taking care of the visas. One of the questions that came in was asking whether they should include the name of the applicants in the email for the invitation letter to apply for the visa. Is there any other personal information that's needed in the email? So quickly off the bat, I guess when you're sending that email, you need to include a few details, which Andy will.
Hold on. Actually, you don't initially. So initially, what we're looking for, and we do this visa request process via a Google form. So by sending an email message to generalinfo at esrarocket.org, what I'm looking for really is the team number, the team name, and the university name. Once I have that information, I will update the form so it has a drop down for your particular team. Then I'll send that email address, I'll reply to it and send a link to the form. It's a private form. They will need to fill out a spreadsheet, submit the spreadsheet in the form, and that will give us a complete record of what I'm filling out a visa letter for. So when we're doing visa letters, they're very strict and it's a PDF. So yes, you can edit PDFs and all that other kind of stuff, but we know exactly what we sent out. And that's the reason we have to do it through this Google form. And so I don't need any additional information on those three things in the email. And that is the team number, the team name, and the university name. That's all I need. And then I'll respond to you with a link. Once you fill out that link, it's usually a 24-hour turnaround time, and I will send an email with that formalized letter in a PDF to that email.
Thank you, Andy. Hopefully that answers your question. If you have something that comes about from that answer, please ask away. That, I think, pretty much wraps it up for the questionnaire. One of the interesting ones that I saw on Discord this past week, I believe, was what happens if they have to swap their flyer of record from one person to another. We did answer that, but just so we can reiterate, we are flexible and understanding that such swaps might need to happen. And when that happens, the first thing you all need to do is provide us with the heads up by email saying that, hey, here's our previously listed flyer of record, here's the new one, and any other conversation that shows that swap happening as well. I don't know if Andy or Jim, you want to chime in on, anyone else wants to chime in on that.
One of the things that's critical on the flyer of record piece, doing it early in the competition is certainly better for us. If you're getting down to either the third or the video flight review, and you're getting down to the nuts and bolts, and you're going to swap flyers of record, that's a real challenge for us. One of the things that we have to do is we have to validate all those flyers of record. So we gather the names, Triple ID numbers, and we work with our Triple partners. I know Elaine has done a lot of the tracking of that information as well to make sure that, if someone comes out there and says they're an L3, and then we come to find out later on that they are quote unquote working on their L3, that is unacceptable. We have too many cases, too many examples where, I just need to fly in May and everything will be fine and I'll have my L3. May comes along, they get rained out, or the rocket KOs or crashes, or they fail their L3 attempt, and that team is high water without a flyer of record. So we do not accept L2s that are working on their L3s. That is not an appropriate flyer of record for your team. In addition, we would hope and expect that the flyer of records have significant or sufficient amount of experience flying these type of IREC rockets or scale size. If it's their very first, IREC rocket and they're a brand new flyer of record, we do have some concerns about that. While it does meet the minimum criteria from Tripoli, it's not a best practice across the board. So we will evaluate all those, and we can see it very easily. We just look at the date of the certification. We can look at the date of the number of the Tripoli ID number, and we can tell whether or not they're relatively new to Tripoli as a whole. So that is sort of the process that we go through in evaluating flyer of record. Jim, do you have anything to add?
I don't. I think you've covered it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, sir. All right, Bowie, I think we're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
One second, guys, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
There was one other question that I was answered, and we kind of just answered that via text. It didn't really get brought up via voice, so I'm just going to reiterate for people who might have seen it. The question was, when is the Rocketeer fee going to be available to be paid? Both the Rocketeer fee and the rocket fee itself should be available to be paid in 2026. We got to pay the application fee first, and then we'll be releasing both the ability to pay for the rocket and the Rocketeer fee. I don't have an exact time frame yet for the specific date, but once I do have one, I will be making an announcement in Discord, and I'll make sure I work with Jessica to get an announcement on the website as well.
Just to reiterate, if you check the master spreadsheet or master schedule, it actually probably tells you about the time when those should open up. But if not, me and Mandy will definitely get together and we will post that information online.
Yeah. I'm currently updating a few documents. One of them is the IMS, which is the master schedule. I don't think we have an explicit opening or start date for that. I think that just was something we've never needed to codify, but we do have a deadline for that. So I guess once Mandy and Jessica finalize that, we can include that in the next update as well.
Yep. And it looks like I just got another question. Why did the fees increase this year? I knew there was going to be someone asking about that.
That's a valid question. Yeah.
So the fees increased for a couple of different reasons, but the main one is that prices for everything are increasing, not just for you guys, but for us as well. And so unfortunately, we have to keep following the trend and increasing the price. Now, this isn't just that we want money. This is also so that we can provide better services for you, so that we can continue the IREC throughout the years, and that we don't go into massive debt. There's a lot of different reasons for why the fee increased, but the main reason is that we needed to increase in order to be able to continue continue IREC and keep it going into the future as well.
Yeah, the feedback, I guess the challenge we ran into last year is obviously the move. There were a lot of additional expenses involved in the move. ESRA is pretty financially strong in past years, where we've never attempted to gain profit. You know, our goal is to break even. Our ultimate goal is to have sponsors pay for it all. And we're not there. Any support, you know, students, when you guys graduate and you get out there in the industry, just think about it. You're just like, hey, why is my company not sponsoring the IREC? Because the more sponsorships we get, the more opportunities we have to lower the expense. I mean, if we had NASA covering us like they do for SLI, we could do all sorts of amazing things. But unfortunately, we don't. So the challenge is that the expenses of last year and moving to the new site were substantial. The clearing of the site, the maintenance of the roads that were taking place, you know, a lot of those things were challenging us, and we dipped into our rainy day fund a little bit harder than we'd expected, and so you know that puts us at risk, and we really can't allow ourselves to do that if we want to continue putting on this event year after year. The other question that had popped up that was specific to late fees. Can I pay for my Rocketeer fee on site during the event? You certainly can. Not highly not recommended at all. And in fact, we've had a few teams do that as a whole and just agree to pay that late fee, and that really puts us in a bind because we have to pay for almost everything. Well, we do pay for everything up front, whether it be the shirts, whether it be, you know, the EMS, the fire, whatever the case might be. All expenses are paid up front, with a few exceptions. And so if we allow teams to start paying it when they show up, it really puts us at risk. So what we've done to try to avoid that is we pretty significantly increased the late fees. So all of these details are on the website. So there is a actual link to a document that talks about the fees. So do not hesitate to take a look at that to try to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how much is it going to cost. So thank you for that question.
We did just get another question as well about announcing the fee increases earlier in the year. If we have to increase the fee again, we will definitely try to do so earlier in the year. The reason this one was so late is, I will admit, a little bit partially my fault. I'm new into the position this year, and this was a big thing that I was trying to advocate, and I didn't get a chance to really get into the board and start advocating this until later on. So that's partially my fault, and I apologize for that. If we ever need to increase fees again, we'll make sure that we try to get that announced earlier. So I'm sorry about with the budgets. I know that kind of sucks for working with the universities. I have worked at a university. I understand doing the budgets. It's a pain in the butt.
Okay. Jessica, you had a question?
I just wanted to say one of the biggest things from an ESRA standpoint is that our goal is for students not to pay any fees at all. So, and I may be reiterating what Andy had said, but please keep that in mind, that when we raise the fees, we don't do so willingly. We do so because we have to. So anyways, sorry about that. Thanks.
So was there a question I saw about international teams getting their level 1?
Yeah, there was a question that came up, is basically, can international teams or students registered or apply for L1 certification that we have planned before IREC starts?
I gotcha. So let me answer that one. That's the whole reason we're doing this. Really it is. I mean, you know, I really feel for students in India. You know, they have this incredibly, you know, awesome space program in their country, and they're just severely restricted. And I felt that way for Canada for about 10, 15 years ago. They were severely restricted. They couldn't do much of anything up there in the amateur high-powered rocketry world. And now they're launching liquids for student teams. So it's amazing how these things can turn around. But in the meantime, you know, for the teams that cannot get those certifications, you certainly can become a member of Tripoli. You certainly can attend this certification launch. And as long as you've got your active certification and your rocket and you meet all the requirements for the certification launch, you're good to go. Again, can't promise you the rocket's going to be perfect, But if you have a, some type of failure in the recovery or whatever the case might be, motorcados. But again, if you do everything by the book, you have a very good chance of getting your level 1, and then maybe the next year you can come back to your L2 and so on and such forth. So that is the key idea for doing it. That doesn't mean students in the U.S. can't do it as well, or Canadian, or whatever. It's just our key focus is giving this opportunity to the international teams that do not have the opportunities to do this.
On that note, there was actually one thing that Paul had brought up where he can do both TRA and NAR ones. So basically, L3 applicants need to contact him or another TAP or an L3 before the competition arrives to coordinate that. But I think that might be it in terms of questions. I don't see anything else coming up. And I know we are 5 minutes over. Biggest key takeaway is we've got the first progress report 1 coming up soon. So please finish it early, as Andy mentioned. Don't be late. There is serious consequences for being late, which is removal from 2026 IRAC.
Yeah. There's a question about swag for Flyers of Record. I think Elaine and I can maybe work up something for that. So don't let us forget that. We will see what we can come up with for the Flyers of Record. Good questions, guys. That was a good town hall. I appreciate it. Well attended, and we will place the recording up on the website in the next day or two. And hopefully the folks that didn't see it. Any last things from the panelists? Thank you for everything. We appreciate your time, and we'll do this again. Third Thursday of December before the Christmas break, and looking forward to talking to everyone then.
Yeah, folks.
Thank you much.